Hey everybody, Hella here. How are you guys today? How are you? Happy Friday. If it's Friday for you or if it's Thursday night for you, it's close enough to being Friday. Close enough. Guys, it's an important topic today. Might not be joking around as much as usual today, unfortunately. Maybe just a tad. Keep things light. But this is a really important topic to me. And it's been on my mind for a long time, nearly a year, actually a year, over a year. I've been reminded that it's over a year. Lauren's coverage of the Delphi trial. Actually, Lauren and John's coverage of the Delphi trial. This has been waiting. Yes. And actually, I have touched on it before, but not as much as I'm going to today. So get ready, guys. Get ready. And I'm going to put this thing up. Don't be a narcissist. Support an Aussie today. And we are playing content under the fair use doctrine, transforming it for commentary and criticism. Support the channel by becoming a member. Oh, and making sure that you get your black heart and your law and crimes. Yes, indeedy. How are we all? Yes, we are. You never told us to.
I didn't tell her to stop talking.
You never told me to stop talking. Don't tell me to stop talking, Lauren. Don't tell me to stop talking. Because, if you told me to stop talking, then...
That's a lie.
That's a lie. And it would be...
torturous interference.
It would be torturous interference. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I threatened her to stop talking. Hi, Betsy's tag. How are you? It's a super full moon. Oh, is it a full moon? Is it? I don't know. You got a different moon over on that side of the planet. RA does know about torturous interference, unfortunately. Isn't that ironic? Yeah. He does. He does know about that.
Isn't it ironic?
It's ironic. Don't you think? He does. But Lauren doesn't think that he was tortured, and her husband, John, doesn't think that he was tortured. And I'd love for them to experience... Actually, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy what Richard Allen went through in Westfield Correctional Center. But they do tend to sort of dismiss it. They do dismiss it. He wasn't tortured. He wasn't tortured. But Lauren feels terribly threatened by a lady who makes TikToks, doesn't she? Social violence and trial tourists. Yeah. Now, guys, I will just give you a little bit of a heads up about today. So I'll tell you very honestly my feelings about this case, and I am going to give you a quick overview of the case, which is very difficult to be quick and succinct. If you don't know about the Indiana versus Richard Allen case and the case of Libby and Abby and the brutal murders, it's long and convoluted, and I'm going to give you the very, very short elevator pitch today, just for people in chat who haven't followed it at all. And I'm sorry to those of you who know about it in greater detail, because I'm going to skip a lot. I am going to skip a lot. I don't mean to do it any injustice. I'll tell you that I come from the point of view of believing that Richard Allen had nothing to do with this, because I've done a lot more research on it. And I go into every trial believing that the defendant is innocent, and I want the state to prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt that he or she is guilty. And I watched Andrea Burkhart's coverage every day. I was in her chat. She gave an incredible account of what happened in that courtroom because there were no cameras in that courtroom. And since then, there's been a crowdfunding effort to receive all of the transcripts. Thank you to everybody who put in that effort to get those transcripts. So they're all publicly available as well. And I can put the link up. Thank you to All Eyes on Delphi for hosting those transcripts, and also Criminality and Sleuthy for reading all those transcripts as well on Criminality's channel. So now we have some transparency that we can get all that information, but we relied on reporters and lawyers going there, waiting in line all the time, because that's how difficult it was to get into the courtroom, to report back to us as to what was happening in that courtroom. And me, little old me on the other side of the world, listening back to what was being reported. There was nowhere near enough evidence. I was waiting for more to be told to me about Richard Allen and the evidence against him than I already knew. And I was very sorely disappointed. So that's my point of view. However, I'm not here to convince anybody that he's innocent, but I would hope that people believe that he did not get a fair trial. That's all. That's all I would hope to convince anybody of. But that's not what this stream's about. This stream is about Lauren and John and their egregious that they have no consideration for journalistic integrity. It doesn't exist. They don't care. And also his ethics as a psychologist. What? Where are they? Where are they? So I'm going to bring Dali in and we'll say hi to everybody, get a couple of comments, and then get into it. And Lauren, if you're watching, Bayus.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Now you gotta today, you gotta stop me from playing things for too long. Right? So if I'm like playing some of their video for like longer than, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds, you could be like, stop, pause.
Okay. I mean, Lauren and I are besties, but just to be safe, we should probably just pause it every so often. I mean, I don't see her striking you when I'm on here. I mean, if I'm not on here, maybe. But
maybe, yeah. Like you need to give her a little tingle and be like, hey, Loza.
Yeah, I got a number.
As we say here in Australia, like we call like anyone who's called Sharon, we call Shazza. So maybe we could start calling her Loza.
I'll just call her L Dog. That's how she said.
Oh, L Dog.
Yeah. Send a quick L Dog.
Hey, lurkers, Lauren and Grayson. Hey.
Good Lord, my hand always comes out so white. I am white.
You are quite white. Hey, Andy, how are you? Hello, my investigative journalist. Hi. Hello, I diagnosed you histrionic. Oh, no. I'm no psychiatrist, but maybe neither is John. Hey, look, I'm a fake lawyer and a fake psychologist. So
that's how I diagnosed her as that as well. So you're probably right.
I don't even know what histrionic means. Is it like a history major?
Let's go with that.
I know a lot about the Aztecs. Yes, Andrea. Andrea is a fantastic streamer and lawyer, obviously. And CH is my fellow mod on that channel. CH does a fantastic job. In fact, CH is there much more often than I am because Andrea is streaming during the day now and I'm asleep during the day. So I feel like a pretty rubbish mod at the moment. Hey, Holly B, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, the judge. The judge in this case was just a ghoul. Judge Ghoul.
She had nice hair, though.
She? How would you know? You never saw her.
Oh, I've seen pictures of her.
Oh, right. That judge was worse than Kim John Ben. That's saying something. Kylie K says, John almost had me convinced he was guilty, and I am so happy that those interrogation videos came out so I could see them for myself. That's why we need transparency. Unfortunately, I live in a state that doesn't allow cameras. Well, I live in a country that doesn't allow cameras.
Very true.
Yeah. So people pretty much just believe whatever the TV says. And Sleuthy as well. There's Sleuthy's link too. And her Twitter is actually good to share too, if you wouldn't mind. CH, thank you. Influencers get paid to influence. Lauren is a true crime influencer, 100%. And this is my big problem with people like Lauren. They don't understand that they're influencing. Well, she does. I'm sure she does understand. And people at the time, I remember I spoke out against her at the time and the things she was saying, and I got some pushback. People were like, oh, well, she can have her opinion. Why can't she have her opinion? And you're being so mean, Hella. You're being so mean. Valid. She can have her opinion. Oh, valid point. And I'm like, yes, fine. She can have her opinion, but she needs to understand that her opinion influences others. And she is reporting on information that others can't get to, and they're relying on her for that information. So she needs to take responsibility for that, that the fact that people are taking what she's saying and making decisions about their opinion based on her opinion. How is that responsibility?
Well, it's Lauren, though. She wouldn't lead us astray.
Oh, of course. Unbelievable. Her opinion isn't gospel either, like Lauren thinks. Well, there are some people who do believe everything she says and still do. They still exist. They're just hiding. They're just hiding out over on Patreon. She sells her journalism background, so the standard is higher. Yes. Okay, guys. So, first, I'm going to play you the little video that I made yesterday to show you something that I found. I'm kind of proud that I found it. Because it went missing, and I've been looking for this. So there's a lunch live, right? Because she does these lunch lives. So these lunch lives, it's kind of a Lauren thing. She does these lunch lives when she goes to court, and it's like, it's something that a lot of other streamers don't do. So she's in court, and do others do it?
I don't know. I know Nate Eaton was doing it at the Lori Vallow trial. A few of them were.
Okay,
they all
right. Well,
ran
I know that,
court.
like, I know Andrea wasn't, and I don't think Lawyer Lee was, or anyone like that. So I noticed a few people commenting that, we watched Lauren's lunch lives because others weren't, right? So you sort of get an update during the day. So Lauren would do these lunch lives, and most of the time they were from her car, right? Now, there was a lunch live where people told me, because I'm asleep during you guys' lunchtimes, and plus I don't follow her anyway, but people told me that they unsubscribed during this lunch live, or because of this lunch live, because her biases started to really come out big time, and the prosecution hadn't even rested yet, right? And so I went looking for this lunch live. I was like, where is it? I want to see it. And then it was missing, right? Where's this lunch live? I can't find it. It was just a little bit hidden. So, one of my little worker bees. Thanks, Bobby Joe. And thank you. And you're not a worker bee. You're just awesome. Might have found it for me. So anyway, I'll show you this clip that I made. Yes, because I don't want to show you the whole thing. It's appalling. Let's look.
I think it's great content, but you guys can check it out after the stream if you'd like.
It's great content. Yeah, okay. So hang on, let's go change views. Where is it? I can never find my setup.
Sorry, I changed it.
Why?
I didn't. I was just screwing with you. What do you need?
My right hand view. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go.
Hey, that's you.
Yeah. During the Delphi trial, that is Indiana versus Richard Allen, Hidden True Crime sent Lauren Matthias, the host, over to Indiana to cover it because there were no cameras in the courtroom. Now, Lauren, of course, had to bring staff with her, even though there was very limited seating in that courtroom. So she brought along Grayson and some other staff to take notes for her. She took some notes, but she brought staff with her to take some notes. Now, I get a lot of comments from people saying it was during that trial, in particular a lunch live, because she did these lunch lives from her car. In particular, a lunch live that was when they unsubscribed from Lauren's channel. And I've been looking for this lunch live. I think I might have found it, guys.
Or that people can see me. It is, we'll try this again. Yesterday I got the date wrong. Many of you pointed out. It is Halloween Thursday. Today is Thursday, October 31st, 2024. And the Richard Allen trial is, it's a very, very big day. Very big day. I have been talking to several people on every break that's been going on during trial.
Everything seems normal, doesn't it? She's in her car. She's been talking to people on every single break, just like a normal lunch live, correct? And yes, it is Halloween. It's the day of Halloween, except there's something different about this lunch live. You wouldn't know, though, from looking. If you've been following Hidden True Crime every single day, she has been honest about the fact she's not in Delphi. She's actually at home. She's at home because she has organized to have Halloween at home with her family, with her son. So rubbing her forehead like she's stressed, like she's not just sitting in her garage. Right? Okay. So in Loz's defense, she did say that she'd gone home, right? Like the people who have been following Lauren on her journey, her Delphi journey, they knew. She didn't say, "Oh, I'm still here." She said it. But do you listen to everything Lauren says?
Yes. Right, Junior? Right?
Okay, so she's at home. She's got a big house. They're rich, right? What the hell is she doing in a goddamn car?
Well, I think John maybe had something bad to eat and was a little gassy that day. So she needed a break. Let's be honest.
And legit, people don't remember or know that she went home, right? And I've spoken to people who were there and they can't even remember this. Yeah? Yeah? It's so misleading. She's not lying, but it is a bit of a misrepresentation because most people that I've spoken to don't remember that she wasn't actually at the trial. And this is a very important day because this is the day when the confessions of Richard Allen were played. So she never heard them herself. So we'll listen to a little bit more.
Trial. They have been playing audio recordings, recorded phone calls that Richard Allen has made between his wife and others. So let me read to you some things that people have said. Kathy, what's going on? Richard, I just want to apologize to you. Kathy, nothing. Richard, I did it. I killed Abby and Libby. Kathy, no, you didn't. Don't say that, dear. No, you didn't. Richard, I really did. Kathy, no, you didn't. Why would you say that? Richard, because I think I did. Kathy, no, you didn't.
Think.
Oh, shoot. Okay, there's more, but that's what I've got for you right now. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time. I see that we have 3,600 people here in chat. I'll tell you more in a little bit, but I'm going to spend some time reading chat. I'm very curious what everyone's saying right now. Oh, yeah, the van. The van is coming up. So there is word that the van, that it was not in the discovery. Nobody knew about the van. That's something else somebody's been telling me.
Wait, who's been telling you about the van? Who have you been talking to, Lauren? Now
that was a big moment.
That's curious to me. So the van's a really important piece of evidence. And so I was curious who she's been talking to about the van, because the van is a piece of information that only the killer could know, right? And Richard Allen said it apparently to Dr. Waller in his psychiatric meetings or psychologist meetings, his mental health meetings. But Dr. Waller is somebody who was on Facebook, on social media, in YouTube chats, etc. Gray Hughes.
He's respectable.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very respectful. It was actually mentioned that she was in a lot of Delphi related true crime chats, and the van was it was all over social media. The fact that Brad Weber's van drove up and down the Brad Weber's private drive, exactly where Richard Allen would have said, right? So it's just a non-piece of information. It's not information that only the killer would know. If Dr. Waller, the one person that he sees every day, would have said it. So yeah. I would like to know who she's been talking to about that. But I mean, it's just interesting because she's talking to people who are on the prosecution side who are giving her sort of tidbits.
He said, I wouldn't confess if I wouldn't say I did it if I didn't do it.
Her hair looks very post-coital.
You know, and also, you know, I agree with people that law enforcement made mistakes on this case. You know, but it still doesn't take away his confessions to me. But I'm listening here. I'm listening to you guys. I'm looking.
Okay, so let's look. So I wanted to do this. So comments are important to me. So let's go. Let's see how many people in chat are questioning what she's saying. So
go away, Gray.
Think? What?
Oh, I was just reading the first one.
Go away, Gray.
But you're Gray. I don't get it. We need more green in chat, guys.
Fellow mods, I need to get in the car. Good luck. I'll be listening in. Everyone needs to go to the car to stream. Maybe he didn't want to leave witnesses. Oh, you're home now. Okay, cool. All right. Appreciate your dedication and hard work, Lauren. Enjoy Halloween with your family. All right. So I don't want to make out like she didn't say she went home for Halloween. She did. right? She did say she went home for Halloween. Absolutely, right? But what's she doing in the goddamn car?
I like my John theory.
You like your John theory?
Yeah.
If she's at home, why isn't she at home inside with her normal backdrop, making it very clear she's at home?
Well, she also had her purse on her counter or on her shoulders, so maybe she was out at the store and decided to whip out and do a live. Just got a call from somebody.
There's 3,600 people in chat. Do you think all 3,600 people noticed or heard the whole "I'm not at court" thing?
I'm sure she said it. They just maybe all 3,600 missed it.
Not all. There's some people. There's some people. Yeah. But
It is rather sus.
It's yeah. So many people gaslighting about no evidence. Yeah, what does Dr. John think? I'm not 100% sure that he's guilty. He was treated as if he were guilty. Okay, well, there's someone. I don't know, but it sounds like not only lawyers, but that horrible woman psychologist disclosed sensitive info to RA, is what I understand. Good for you. Poor Abby and Libby, yeah? Poor Abby and Libby.
Yeah, all kinds of DNA at the scene, but not Richard Allen's, but not anyone else's that they've identified either. You know?
What?
So I
Well, it's not Richard Allen's, but they haven't identified anyone else, so yeah.
And you do realize that all third-party culprit evidence was suppressed, right, Lauren? All?
I'm sorry. Great point, Lauren. Great point.
Yeah, great point, Lauren. Yeah.
Oh.
You look good, Missy. You are a beautiful person.
I wish there had been somebody else's. I think, you know, like then it would help. But, you know.
Wasn't there?
You know, though, a lot of people are treated badly and they don't confess to things. And he wasn't even coerced. Usually people...
He wasn't even coerced.
Lauren, you're making it really, really hard for me to pretend to defend you. Good Lord, woman.
I'm looking at the chat here, and it's about, I would say it's about maybe 60-40 guilty, not guilty at the moment, right? So there's still, there's a lot of people in there who are with her, right? And I'm imagining her looking at her chat and her comments and going, it's cool. I can run with the guilty thing because there is Loyally, there's Bob Motta, there's Andrea, and probably Lawyer No to a degree, who are doubting the prosecution's case and will probably continue to do so. And I can get the guilty audience. And that's my shtick anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how it played out. We'll talk about that more.
Confess after being coerced and treated badly, you know, in an interrogation. Right? I mean, no, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
not
wrong.
61 times.
You're wrong.
That
I mean, is anybody in chat here confessed to crimes they, you know, multiple times that they didn't commit? Yeah, and you know, right. So yeah.
Look at it and they're like, no, heck no. No one else does that. He did it for sure.
I mean, also I want to share this. A lot of people, I'm listening to people say he was treated badly, but I have to be honest, according to the witnesses, he wasn't. And I'm not saying he was or wasn't. I know a lot of people disagree or they have their own opinion.
Okay. So she's talking about the prosecution witnesses because they're not even completely through the prosecution's case yet.
Okay, so the people who were responsible for the horrific treatment of Richard Allen say he was not horrifically treated. Okay.
Correct. That's correct.
She was losing me for a second, but no, I'm back on Team Lauren here. So, the torturers said he was not tortured.
Correct.
Okay. No,
right.
It wasn't torture. It was just enhanced interrogation, guys.
It was for his own safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just,
and comfort.
Yeah, why not just fly him to a different country to do it, too?
So she's absolutely talking about prosecution witnesses. You can't make this shit up.
Opinions, but if just reporting on what the witnesses say, he went in on S-Watch. It's actually not uncommon for those charged with crimes against children to be put in a cell alone.
Well, let's look at what Gray Hughes has to say. Oh, he's talking to somebody in chat. Not sure what you're saying, Julia. The bodies were below the cemetery, and then there is Deer Creek, and the other side is where he was going to assault them, and the van drove by. I showed the map. Oh, Gray Hughes just knows everything, right?
I do respect his opinion.
You respect his opinion?
That always happens with S-Watch. And I'm not talking about convicted. I'm talking about charged before the conviction. It's not uncommon for their protection.
It's for his
put in a cell alone. He had mental health every day.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking out loud, guys. I'm finally sharing some thoughts.
Talking out loud. We all talk out loud. That's what talking is.
Well, it's nice to see she's sharing some thoughts.
I drank the Kool-Aid. By Kool-Aid, you mean witness testimony, sitting in court every day, listening to evidence. I mean, yeah, maybe it's Kool-Aid. Maybe every single witness in there's, not telling the truth. I don't know.
Maybe every prosecution witness is speaking for the prosecution, Lauren. Yeah, all of you who unsubscribed that day, good on you. Well done. Excellent. All right, so I found that to be a little revealing. And those words, like, that they actually mean more to me than whether or not she was in her car that day. But it's important to me that she didn't hear the words herself. She didn't hear the confessions herself, because if you have heard the audio, and they've been released now, the phone calls themselves, if you have heard the audio, you would have heard the change in Richard Allen's voice. So his voice tone changed as he'd been in that solitary confinement, as he'd been through those atrocities, and then later when the Haldol kicked in, his voice changed into this. He sounded lobotomized. He sounded extremely vacant when he was talking about, yeah, I did it, honey, blah, blah, blah. That he sounded completely different. So if she had heard that, do you think she would have had a different opinion? Probably not. Probably not. But to me, it's also telling that she didn't hear it herself. She was using Grayson AI during Delphi. Yeah. Grayson was taking the notes. Yeah. Now, guys, I'm just going to give, and anyone in chat who is completely unfamiliar with this, I'm just going to do a very, very quick run through. So that's Abigail Williams and Liberty German, Abby and Libby of Delphi. Beautiful girls. And yep, they were found brutally murdered near the Indiana landmark, the Monon High Bridge, where they had gone hiking on February 13, 2017. Now, local man Richard Allen was arrested 5 years later and placed in isolation in a maximum security prison for 13 months. He was subjected to brutal physical and mental torture, including forced injections with the psychotropic drug Haldol, lights on 24/7, tasing, beating, starvation, and on and on. Now, it was during this period of isolation that Allen's mental state clearly declined. He made statements implicating himself in many crimes, all sorts of things that he couldn't possibly have been involved in, but particularly in the murders of Abby and Libby. So the evidence against Richard Allen in the murders of Abby and Libby include no DNA, no witness identification, and no digital data. None. His confessions sealed the deal. He was proclaimed to be Bridge Guy, the man caught on camera in a short clip played to the jury, which was retrieved from Libby's phone. Bridge Guy could have been just about anyone. Just about anyone. So if you don't remember, this is the Bridge Guy video, and it actually came to light, like the full 43-second one, it came to light a few months later. And I can play that for you now. Oops, hang on. Not that one. Not that one. Full uncut recorded. That. No. This. Sorry. Sorry, it's taking me to the wrong thing. Just a sec.
No problem.
There are so many places that you can find the full Bridge Guy video. Bridge Guy.
Till you need it.
Until you need it.
So it'll just be just 1 second, guys.
That's a lie.
Yeah, this is a good. All right, I got it.
I mean, I didn't tell her to stop talking.
I'm just going to go back a sec. And you can see there's Bridge Guy there. Teensy weensy little speck in the distance there. There he is. There's Abby walking along. And Libby is the one videoing it. And you can see her, her phone just sort of falls.
See, this is the path that we are on. There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
If you listen very carefully, you could hear guys down the hill at the end, right? And the reason I wanted to show you this one is for years and years, we only ever saw pretty much this piece, which was like a very zoomed up version of a Bridge Guy. And they kept playing for us over and over this sound. Hang on, like that. That. Right. So that was what was released by law enforcement, plus a little loop of him walking. Sorry, I just don't have it on me right now, but little loop of him walking, which there's some conjecture as to whether that is the same loop of him walking from the original video. We could talk about this over and over for days, but that's not what this stream's about. But the audio there's important because we're going to talk about what Lauren thought of the audio compared to Richard Allen's voice in a moment. So that's just a little bit of background about the case. I'm not going to talk about all of the odinous stuff, the ritualistic stuff, any of that, because I have a whole playlist about all that. I have a whole playlist. Okay, let's go back. So on November 11, 2024, Richard Allen was found guilty on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of felony murder while committing or attempting to commit kidnapping. The verdict came after 17 days of testimony and a trial marked by intense public scrutiny and emotional weight, as evidenced by the crowd's mixed reactions outside the courtroom, with some cheering the outcome and others holding signs supporting Allen's innocence. Source of that is rickallenjustice.com. If you want to read more about this, go to rickallenjustice.com. It's an excellent website full of really great information. Okay, so let's talk more about the conditions Rick was kept in when he made those confessions, and then we're going to have a bit of a look at what Dr. John had to say about that.
Ooh.
21. Page 215. He was tossed in the most secure unit in the state of Indiana, and he was treated just like the rest. That's what we heard. He was treated just like the rest. The rest of the convicted murderers that were his cellmates. The rest of the convicted child molesters that were on that unit. The most heinous individuals in the state were his neighbors, and he was treated just like them. In fact, not only was he treated just like them, he was immediately placed on suicide watch. The evidence suggests that no human, no matter how strong, could endure those conditions for that long a period of time without having some kind of breakdown. Stripped of almost every necessity of a man's life and sent to a place where you have very few, given a suicide smock, basically a caveman gown. You have to eat off the floor, compete with mice droppings, ants.
And it wasn't solitary confinement.
Go ahead. Go ahead. He had an iPad.
All the while his neighbors calling him a child killer, a baby killer. In an 8x12 cell, cinder block walls, concrete floor, no blanket at times, steel toilet that was next to his, where he laid his head at night. I recall asking Warden Gallipo at one point about Rick's opportunities to go to rec. There are rec yards all over that facility. Ball diamonds, volleyball courts, basketball courts. He didn't see one, not one time. On top of that, when he got to go to therapy, shackled his arms, put a box cuff on him, his legs, belly chain, a lead. I call it a leash. Argue about that all you want. And he was walked to a cage down the hall where he got to talk to his therapist. Same with the shower. The 30-day rule in the DOC. The 30-day rule. Here's the point. Solitary confinement is damaging to a man or woman's brain. It doesn't matter if you have a business designation as a safekeeper. If you're held in solitary confinement, Dr. Gracian said the international standard was 15 days. But when you're held in solitary confinement, the evidence is firm that eventually you're going to break. You can only handle so much. Rick Allen, more than 30 days, those 30 turned to 60, 60 turned to 90, 90 to 120, and I could keep doing the math. What the dust settled, he was there for 13 months. How much can one human endure? How much? And they didn't want to show you the video. They didn't want you to see that. It's insulting.
Yep. So only the jury got to see the actual video. It got well, Lauren can tell you, but the screen got turned towards the jury, so the gallery didn't get to see it. To protect Rick's dignity.
I do know Lauren was not a fan of Judge Gould.
Of Judge Gull?
Yeah, she did not like Judge Gould.
Yeah, well, she probably treated Lauren like she treated Andrea and the rest, and that is not like the press.
Correct. That
Yeah.
was her comment when we talked about it briefly.
Yeah.
I made a comment saying, "Oh yeah, it sounded like you guys didn't get a lot of access or something like that. And she's like, yeah, or I said Judge Gould didn't give you a lot of access, and she said Judge Gould just seemed like she hated everything. I was like, well, I agree with you there. You're not wrong there.
Yeah, right. All right. So now let's see what Dr. John had to say about that. So this was streamed live on November 5, 2024, and this is day 15 of trial. Okay. So people apparently in chats have been going, what's Dr. John think? Oh, you actually saw a moment ago. I showed you a chat saying, what's Dr. John think? What's Dr. John think?
Wait, she calls herself
Right.
L?
Uh,
I was
maybe.
joking about the L dog thing.
L dog. I think Loza is good. Okay, so let's look at what Dr. John had to say. We'll go over here.
And potentially psychosis. I agree with that too. I totally
Yeah.
agree that he's in an extremely high stress environment. I would say that he feels, if he's not
Like my pants.
Objectively, to say that he's tortured, I don't know what that means.
Mhm.
They're not, as far as I know, the law enforcement is not taking, red hot pokers and putting them in his eyes. So
What the?
You're a fucking psychologist, and that's your definition of torture? I'm sorry.
That
I'm
to me is torture. But
I shouldn't swear.
Yeah.
So the question is, does he feel subjectively like he's being tortured? And the answer to that, I think, is he probably does. But does
Sure.
that influence his confessions? Does that influence his psychosis, right? Like ultimately the real question here, if we boil this down to its essential elements, the real question here that everyone wants to know, because this is a confession
Am I retarded?
case,
Yes.
The question
We knew the answer to that. Yes, he's
Sorry,
quite
I
retarded.
don't normally swear on stream, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's stunted in some ways. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Please go on. What's the real thing that we all want to know, John?
is his confession accurate? Is it truthful?
Right.
Is it valid? That's what people want to know. What the defense is saying is that he's psychotic. His confessions have no meaning whatsoever because he wasn't oriented to the reality. He was making stuff up. He was apparently thinking of unicorns and butterflies when he was.
He was thinking of unicorns and butterflies. Okay.
are you talking about Lauren when you make love?
But TikToky videos are torturous to Lauren. But they're torturous to Lauren. Yeah, I know.
Torturous interference.
Torturous interference. Stop it. Stop it with the TikTokies.
Talking to his wife, and therefore you have to discount it. You can't count the confessions as something real and valid. The other side of that is that if they are real and valid, then he's a murderer. So that the defense is going to
One
do
or the other. Yeah.
The defense is going to do everything in their power to show or discredit those confessions as not being truthful, as not being
And the
accurate.
state's going to do the opposite.
And when
Okay, so elephant in the room. He never had a safekeeping hearing. He should never have been there in the first place. The whole way he was treated should never have happened. And if it never happened, then he wouldn't have made those confessions. So the confessions should have been suppressed, but they weren't. And if the confessions were suppressed, it would have been a completely different trial. But hey, Dr. John don't want to talk about that.
you talk about confessions, by the way, people say, well, there's no evidence. There's confessions. Like what people forget is confession cases are I know people are going to disagree with this because this is a crazy case, but
I know, be careful.
confession cases are some of the strongest cases you can put on.
Rubbish. They're the weakest cases you could put on. That is rubbish.
Oh, that's Lauren's face when he's going back for thirds at the buffet.
That is complete rubbish. Okay, so if you go to the cops and confess to something, they have to go and get evidence to back it up. So you remember when
Didn't other people confess too?
Yes, Elvis Fields.
Multiple people confessed, Princess.
Yes.
But okay, it's just Richard Allen, the guy who was eating his own excrement
Yeah.
out of his mind,
Yep.
that finally confessed and then said, maybe I did it.
Yes, Belly May. Yes. How many
you
people
caught it too.
confessed? Was it 3?
I
Someone
thought,
remind
yeah,
me how
2
many
or 3.
confessed? How many people confessed? This is
Okay,
so
so if
stupid.
one of them did it for sure, by that
Yeah.
logic, then 3 didn't.
Yeah, because Nick McClellan said, "Oh, but all those people had alibis,
Oh,
right?" But Rick wasn't there before. Like he left before 1:30. Sure, it was more than 3. Bloody hell! But he wouldn't know. He hasn't been following it. He doesn't have a clue, and not that he cares. Not that he cares.
No, he's just humoring his wife.
Like, remember? Okay, what I was going to say is, remember when Charlie Kirk was shot, and that guy came out of the audience and said, "Oh, I did it."
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cash Patel goes, "Oh yeah, we got the dude."
Yeah.
Right? That's a stupid thing to say because they didn't check. Right?
It wasn't one of the better moments.
It wasn't one of the better moments. Yeah. So
And then they found cheese pizza on his phone. The guy's a nut job.
Yeah, it turns out that's just what he does. He goes around confessing to shit. Yeah. So a confession is not enough to take to trial. You've got to, if that's all you got to make shit up.
Yeah.
What an idiotic statement.
In the sense that the juries tend to, for the most part, if confessions are valid, if they're not coerced by somebody sitting in a room for 20 hours with a irate, police officer spitting in their face, if confessions are given freely and voluntarily,
If they're not given with an irate police officer spitting in their face. Lauren, can you tell him about the interrogations that you saw like a week ago? Can you tell him about Jerry Holman? You want to tell him about that or what? No? Because that was before the isolation.
And he didn't break
Right.
then.
He didn't break then. But no. How about we just leave that, right? Because John's speaking.
So I guess the other 3 were coerced then? According
Nah, they just came out with it.
to his logic.
He doesn't know anything about this case. John hasn't got a clue.
Yeah, well,
He sits in his little library.
Lauren didn't marry him for his brains.
No. Remember, he's the trophy husband.
those tend to be very strong cases, and juries tend to convict more often than not in these types of cases.
They more often than
I'm
not
not
they
saying
convict.
that's true here, but what I am saying, and this is not, by the way, purely a confession case. There's other evidence, but I don't want to talk about that. For our purposes, the point of today's testimony.
There's other evidence, but I don't want to talk about that. Yep. Hang on. This $100 super chat. Read emails like the one Dr. John shared last night. Take them for what they're worth. Nothing. Transparency is a huge part of positive change. Your work matters. Never more than when reporting on a trial that the judge is trying so hard to conceal from the public. Oh, poor Lisa. I hope you've come around.
That's my Lauren.
Yo.
It does kind of look like
Okay.
she's on the toilet right now.
Next bit.
Lauren, yeah, that's not a good pose, Lauren.
Hang on. 2 seconds. There's another clip from this I want to play. Okay, so he also seems to think that not only was he not tortured, but he comes around and he feels better, like he resolves himself, right? So, like, this is quite strange too. I'll just shut this tab instead. There we go. I'll show you this bit.
Right, like, of course, the prosecution is trying to show no, he wasn't in solitary. He had tablets, he all this stuff, and the defense, of course, is trying to say he was absolutely, tortured into. With everything you know about him, how does that weigh into a false confession?
How is it
So let me just
torture?
ask you this. This is one of the jury questions. I know you need to go, but like, essentially, like, do you feel like his confessions that you've seen or heard, like, could they be fake if he's in psychosis, or do you see him being linear, or what do we see? I don't know. Or maybe I shouldn't even go here. Maybe this should be Patreon. And
well, first of all,
don't answer if you don't want to. Don't answer that.
Okay. I need to just address something for a minute. He's looking really uncomfortable and impatient because he wants to go, right? And she is like, I'm sorry. Maybe this should be for Patreon. Because he doesn't want to be on YouTube. He only wants to be on Patreon.
Well, I think, wasn't it Lauren who said he was really uncomfortable at first about even being on YouTube or being on camera?
We're getting to that.
Okay. I'll stay for that part.
Well, first of all, it's important to note that a lot of his confessions occurred before he was psychotic. So you have to consider that.
How do you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, and
he starts confessing. He starts confessing on March 21st. He doesn't become psychotic until April.
Yeah.
And between March 21st and April 4th, he's doing a lot of confessing.
Yeah. Dr. Barry, psychologist, response.
Oh, look, there's a doctor in chat. This is a really difficult and complex case. I wish this was a public trial. More access was available to the testimony. Notice that she's not agreeing with him.
Yeah. I won't make fun of her name.
No, she's not agreeing with him, right? Yeah, and she probably wishes that she could give her 2 cents on this with some more information than she's receiving. But he's getting really frustrated. He's just like, how is it torture? What are you talking about? And notice how he's doing lots of confessions before that. He's confessing a lot. Dude, people confess after like a few days in like a jail cell on their own without the food that they like and cigarettes and stuff like that. People confess with under far less torturous conditions than this. How would you go, mate? Like, how would you really go?
I agree. This is difficult and complex. I wish the public trial had more access. I know. And I'm doing my best, guys. Did you guys see the 2 note takers on each side of me? Man, we've got a community here. Seriously. Yeah. And also when tech difficulties, I just want to thank my 2 roommates in this Airbnb for helping me.
Yeah. Your community. Indeed. All right. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Let's go back to where we are. We have some gifted memberships. Would you mind bringing them up, Dali?
Yeah.
Thank you.
First of all, we have Brioon gifting 1 hella excited utterance membership. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, but it's Breen. Hey, Breen. How's it going?
And we have moi.
No,
even though you're being mean to my bae Lauren, I still gifted 1 membership. That's who I am.
Thank you, Binder Daddy.
Jim Cox, thank you for being a member. 14 months. Humoring her, or is she a patient of his?
Hey, Jim.
And very generous. Carry on gifting 5 hella excited utterance memberships.
Oh, thank you so much.
Awesome.
That's very kind of you.
Very generous. Thank you so much.
Very nice. And welcome new members. All right. Yeah, his psychosis resolved as far as he's concerned. Right. So John wanted to go back to Patreon. I did want to talk about that for a minute. Let's have a look at this. Why did John want to go back to Patreon?
This is true. John does want to go on Patreon more. He feels it's safer because we have been getting a lot of hate email and
Aww.
Wanted to get a lot of hate email.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Aww. Well, it's not for me. I can say that. That's for sure.
Hate email?
No,
Well,
none of
email
you in
doesn't come
chat.
through via YouTube. You don't get email via YouTube. So
No, none of you in chat were me.
who was being mean to John?
and some concerns. John has some concerns about just being too transparent online. So if people have been wondering where he is, he did jump on Patreon last night for something a little bit more unfiltered. And there he actually said, I don't want to.
John Unfiltered.
Mm.
Oh, that sounds sexy.
Go on YouTube anytime soon. So I convinced him tonight. But thank you everyone for your support. And as always, Hidden True Crime loves and values differing opinions. And as we always say, surround yourself with people who disagree with you. That's important. Check yourself by surrounding yourself with people who disagree with you. Make sure you never end up in an echo chamber. So thank you to everyone.
Lauren. Loza. My darling. Sit down, bitch. Hello. Hello. Now, Lauren, if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing that nasty thing that you did to Kershaw, I want you to remember this moment. Remember this, okay? You never want to end up in an echo chamber. Yes, you appreciate other people's opinion. You need to surround yourself with people who don't agree with you. So this is normal. This is normal. No civil stalking injunctions.
Nope.
No copyright strikes. This is normal. Ah, you poor dear. But don't interrupt Dr. John when he is getting vulnerable. No, I think she knows that. You notice the way she seems scared of him. Dolly?
Yeah. I do wonder what their dynamic is off camera.
It's so weird. So weird. Like it's like a hostage video.
Looks like she's taking another pregnancy test. Please no,
So
please
let's go.
no, please no.
Hey, petite Betty, welcome. Welcome.
Thank
Welcome to
you.
the fold. Get out your black heart and your black jams and your law and crime. Be a narcissist with the rest of us. So let's go back a little bit. What did Dr. John think of Richard Allen before the trial began? Right? So before hearing any of the testimony, and we're assuming he actually listened to any of the testimony at all. We're assuming that he actually listens to his wife's videos.
Or his wife.
Or his wife at all. This is my favorite. Not my top of my infamous John list. John turning Allen into a domestic abuser. Streamed live on October 16, 2024, approximately 1 week before trial. And Snivels with that 20 excited utterance memberships. Snivels coming through. Yeah, praying away the grey. Love your schnibbles. That's a big one. Thank you so much, mate.
You are the best. Thank you guys.
You are the best. Thank you so much. Welcome, new members. That's much
You're a gem,
appreciated.
Schnivels.
You are a gem. You are a black gem. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hang on.
Officers, this is from a report by Fox 59 in Indiana, November 1st, 2022. This is shortly after he was arrested. Officers with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office were sent at around 3:30 a.m. on June 18th of 2015 to the home of Richard and Kathy Allen, according to records obtained by Fox 59. Sheriff Toby Leansby said Allen, a dad of one and a
It's Lazenby, but sure.
CVS technician, was allegedly drunk, and his wife took him to the hospital for a medical evaluation. According to the sheriff, responding deputies' role during the incident was to, quote, keep the peace, and no arrests or charges followed.
No arrests or charges followed. So the cops came to the house to allegedly keep the peace. No arrests or charges. Mr. Allen was drunk. That's it. Yeah. So picture all that. Picture it. Sicily, 1919. All right. Richard Allen, drunk. Something happened at the house. Cops came. Keep the peace. No arrest charges. Done.
Local sheriff's deputies responded to the home of accused killer Richard Allen over, quote, a domestic incident.
Domestic incident.
Did you look up at his wife when he said that? Can you go back like 5 seconds?
Local sheriff's deputies responded to the home of accused killer Richard Allen over, quote, a domestic incident.
He just domestic.
Why is this important? Because this is precisely the sort of thing you see with so-called out of the blue killers.
She actually doesn't look as bad there.
What's important here is there was no arrest, there were no charges. So all of this,
Dear God, Junior.
It's unimportant because there was no arrest and no charges, John. That's why it's unimportant. That's not why it's important. That's why it's unimportant. You missed the UN. Unimportant.
disappeared. If they had arrested him and charged him, he would have a criminal record. The reason he doesn't is because the deputies, the officers who responded to this call, they thought it was minor and not worthy of their attention. They
thought it was minor and not worthy of their attention. And it's minor and not worthy of our attention. Why are you bringing it up? You absolute psycho.
recommended that Kathy, Allen's wife, take him to the hospital for medical evaluation because he was deeply inebriated.
Oh, you've never been deeply inebriated? Oh, sorry. You're perfect. You're perfect.
How dare he?
How dare he be deeply inebriated?
I'm judging Richard Allen now.
Yeah, okay. So that makes him a child murderer. Right.
What was the level of violence? We don't know. How bad was it? How violent was he? We don't know. We know it was significant enough that somebody in that home, somebody in the Allen home, called the police.
I'm about to get violent.
Do we even know that? Like, could it have been a neighbor that called? Like, heard somebody yelling? Like,
Maybe. I don't know. He's just making it up as he goes along. This is absolutely the most ridiculous commentary and so offensive.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, I saw somebody I was reading the live chat back, and I was like, "Are people buying this crap?" Kathy called.
Thank you.
Because he was threatening what?
Oh,
Threatening
self-harm?
suicide.
Okay.
Right, yeah, because he has a history of depression. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So it wasn't violence. Okay.
Yeah. Right? Okay. So sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It'll come back to me.
For help.
I need to get going.
Yeah, that's fine.
So thanks. Thanks guys for being here. I will see you later. I'll be in chat.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Binder darling.
Leave studio.
Bye. So he interrupts me, my chain of thought, and then he leaves. Okay, bye.
So does Richard Allen?
Boom. There you go.
Oh, boom.
Does Richard Allen fit the profile of a quote abuser turned murderer? I don't know. We have this incident of domestic violence, and by the way, when you have one,
She just said boom to that. Boom, I married a complete idiot. But it's okay. We're good for each other.
instance of domestic violence.
Domestic, what? Where did the word domestic or violence even come in? Where did those words come in? Where did that come from? Where? I shouldn't. I can't believe I'm even smiling. I shouldn't be smiling. This is beyond disgusting. Sorry. Yes, I remember what I was going to say earlier. I was looking at the live chat beforehand when I was finding this clip to bring up for you guys. I was looking through the live chat, and I was looking to see whether or not people were buying it, and a lot of people were. Maybe it's because they filtered out some of the chats that were disagreeing with it, because they are known to do that. There was somebody who said, could this stuff be brought into trial? Because this was a week before trial. A week before trial, everybody. Could this stuff be brought into trial as evidence against him? No. No. Firstly, nothing happened. And secondly, that would be character evidence. So no, bad acts, prior bad acts, but there wasn't even a prior bad act. So no. It's so stupid. At some point, she even questioned why he should be allowed to appear in court in street clothes, like she was actually offended by the possibility. That is weapons grade stupid. What? I need to find that. I need to find that and show it to you. Do you have any idea when that was? Vexatious? Do you have any idea? This is so bad.
It suggests that there's strife and turmoil in that home that we have no idea about.
No,
it probably runs a lot deeper than we're aware of.
You're suggesting that.
Because for the police to respond to a domestic call, it takes a fairly significant incident.
No, it doesn't.
I would love to know what that is. Unfortunately, there's no paperwork because he was never arrested.
It doesn't. They have to respond.
The only person who would tell us what happened would be Kathy, and I'm pretty sure she's not going to tell us. So,
right.
But the mere fact that police went to that home indicates that there was previous abuse, even though it wasn't charged, and that Alan potentially has some history of violence that we're not aware of, that nobody's talking about, that's been overlooked and neglected. So is Alan like this perfect introverted CVS pharmacist technician that all his neighbors adore and that has no strife at home? Nope, he's not that guy.
Not that guy. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was vomit worthy. So now back to Lauren's hard-hitting courtroom analysis, shall we? Lauren recaps the jury's viewing of the in-cell videos. That's in-cell. Yes, because they had surveillance on Richard Allen 24/7. So this was streamed live on November 5, 2024. That's day 15 of the trial. So she had gone home and come back. And I'll just take you to that. Oh.
On Saturday, and including, I believe, showering with handcuffs on, allegedly. That's what someone might have seen in the gallery. Today, I think because some reporters allegedly saw the video on Saturday, they turned it more today. So after Dr. Westcott finished, they said that Max was back on the stand. Remember Max? Max is a employee of the defense. He's a younger guy, and he was started as an intern. And they said, your job is to assess all the surveillance 24.
Okay, so notice how she's like, allegedly someone saw this and someone saw that, because she wasn't there on Saturday. Right? So P.S. This is the same stream that John was just on, but John's left because, he's got stuff to do. He's very, very busy. And, he might be on Patreon later, but he doesn't like being on YouTube because people send hate emails. So now she's back to streaming on her own, and she's doing a recap of things that were missed because she was home. And no shade, she went home for Halloween to be with her son. There's a bit of shade from me, though, because she did some streaming from the car, which made it look like she was at court, but whatever. So she's now recapping stuff that's purely from Grayson's notes. Completely from Grayson's notes. She wasn't there for this.
24/7 of Richard Allen and find some things to share with the jury. And that's what he did. And he explained that he generated 20 hours of video to show, and he reduced it to save time. And so 2 videos he felt were the most important, and they were given all of these videos were given to Max by the state in 5-minute chunks. And so Max spent hours and hundreds of hours going through all this video. God bless Max. None of us had this job. There are some interesting jobs out there. So he said it was, and I was very impressed with Max on the stand. He's an impressive witness, I must say. He said it was super time consuming. He cleaned it up, all of the video up to make it a continuous file. And he dressed and dropped files into one video. And the 2 videos that he decided to show to the jury today were April 12th, 2023 and May 25th, 2023. And so in reality, April 12th, 2023, he showed the times 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. These are in-cell videos. I should explain that too. And by in-cell, I mean inside the cell. So Saturday was camcorder.
Okay, so this Max guy, my God, what he would have seen, right? He saw everything, all of the Richard beating his head against the wall, all of the beatings, all of the excrement, everything. So he must be just scarred for life. And he was questioned by the state as to why he chose to include, I suppose, the worst moments of that to show to the jury rather than, the happy times. And you can really tell which side Lauren's on.
During transports. Today in court, they showed in his cell, he has, again, 24/7 surveillance in his cell. So April 12th, 2023, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. in real time. And then May 25th, 2023, 8 to 10 p.m. in real time. And they say real time because they fast forward these videos so that they are not skipping, but as fast as they can to show 5 hours in an hour and 12 minutes. The state, by the way, objects. They just simply say, we have a continuous objection to showing these videos. We don't want this. We're just letting you know that we continue to object to this. And the judge understands who's already overruled their objection, and the video begins for the jury. And again, the TV screen is like, so it was like on Saturday, it was more here. Today it was like way over, like no one was going to see this TV, no one. And so I wrote down all the times it stopped and went. It actually did go really fast. I thought it would be an hour and 12 minutes after that. But they sped through it. I noted at that time too, there was a break. I noted Richard Allen's daughter was sitting outside. And so I recognized that she might be.
Oh, I like. She had been talking about Saturday, which she wasn't there for. Clearly she was there for that Mac's testimony. So, because she's reporting on day 15 and day 15 was a few days later. So she's back by then.
Be testifying.
It's hard to keep up with what days she's there and when she's not.
And later, which she indeed did. So they went through the entire video, and I noticed that Richard Allen would look up a lot at the ceiling like that. So that was Richard Allen today. Oh, that felt good. When looking at the ceiling feels good, you know, your neck's kinked from looking down, taking notes. But I'll point out that the ceiling in the courtroom is quite beautiful, and there's a giant.
All right, Jesus Christ! I want to get to something in particular.
And the next question the prosecution asks Max, well, do you believe it was safer for Richard Allen to be in a cell by himself? There's an objection, and it's sustained. How many hours did you watch? The prosecution asks, and Max says hundreds. Some of them I watched multiple times, days in, days out. There's 24-hour surveillance. I chose moments, or the question is, so why did you choose these moments? There were tons of moments, and these two very short videos, these 15 videos, why did you choose these? And why did you choose? I mean, you saw videos of him going to the nurse, right? And you saw videos of Richard Allen going to see Dr. Walla, and you saw Richard Allen taking showers and getting x-rays done. And, you know, why did you pick?
Yeah, so those were all fun times, right? So why would you not show those videos, Max?
These, and why did you pick him being tased and all of these times? And he explained, well, I thought they were interesting moments. And he said, but why only these 15 moments? And was it, the prosecution asked, why, Max, did you show these 15 minutes? Was it to show the worst conditions that Richard Allen possibly could have to get him sympathy? And Max said, I guess. I was the one who said, I guess. And then the defense said, you picked these 15 videos to show the worst conditions. Is that true? And he said,
she got that wrong. Notice how she went between the prosecution said and then the defense said, right? Which is it, Lauren?
The answer said, well, I wanted to show more. And then the prosecution asked, but you did.
Who's questioning? Is it the defense or the prosecution questioning?
It's so, didn't you? So to convince Richard Allen that Richard Allen is the victim by being incarcerated. Is that why you did it? Max's answer was, I'm not trying to show that Richard Allen is a victim, but I am trying to show the most interesting videos. And then the prosecution asked, but you're trying to show the worst videos? And Max said, no, the most important. And then a question by the prosecution. So Allen's the victim then, right? Is that what you're saying? Not Abigail Williams and Liberty German? but Richard Allen's the victim, then there's an objection to that. And then he asks again, the 15 videos you picked, are they to show the worst moments of Richard Allen's incarceration in these incel videos? Oh, no, his answer is, no, I'm just trying to show some incel videos. And then the prosecution asked, but why pick these inside the cell videos? His answer is, so now we learn what the videos are. Well, I wanted to depict him, these videos. So they depict him eating his own feces and banging his head against a wall. So now we know what they saw. Max just testified to it. He said, these videos depict him eating his own feces and banging his head against the wall. Well,
Okay, so if you've been following, and I know it's hard to follow because she keeps changing whether or not it's direct or cross, it's pretty clearly the it's cross. I think it's clearly cross by the prosecution. So it's the defense's witness, right? Max wants to show that these important moments happened during Richard Allen's stay at Westville, but the prosecution is allowed to lead and is saying that there are, why didn't you show all these times when he was treated humanely?
Question, the prosecution asks, were these events then that you wanted the jury to see? Why did you want the jury to see these events? You didn't pick these. Why did you not pick other videos to show the jury? And he said, yes, I didn't. And I don't believe you choose to show any other. Oh, this was a good moment for Max. Max is good. So they showed, again, I got to start over. Hold on. Pause. This was a good moment for Max. It was kind of a
hang on. She told me to pause. We'll pause. Apparently, Max did well now. That's a good screenshot. I might just get that. Hang on.
Drop. I was like, Max, you've impressed me. The prosecution keeps pushing it, right? Keeps pushing it. You didn't pick the other videos to show the jury. Why did you not pick other videos to show the jury? And Max said, well, I don't believe you chose to pick any other videos to show the jury either, right? Oh. And that was like kind of a touche moment because, yeah, if they really wanted a cross-exam, why didn't the prosecution decide to show videos that they wanted the jury to see? They didn't. So, Max, well played. I admit that.
You admit that? You admit that? Well, you just showed your colors there, didn't you, Lauren? You admit that. So, whose side are you on, Lauren? If you admit that, if you have to admit that Max did well there, then that means that you don't like Max very much, right? You were hoping that Max would do pretty badly, but Max did very well, and you admit that. Yeah, okay. Right. So, Lauren tries to explain what she saw in the Bridge Guy video. Now, remember the Bridge Guy video? We saw it beforehand. And this, we're going back in time a little bit. Now we're on day 4. And the lunch live did exist, but it's gone. It is gone. Because I've seen the lunch live, and the lunch live, she was very unsure of what she saw. And she said in the lunch live she didn't see Bridge Guy in the video. But then she said that night, and this is the video from that night, then she said that she saw him in the video after lunch, right? So I'll take you to this. Oh, a second. Just 1 minute. Oh, sorry, my notes. Okay, so she's trying to relay what she saw.
We start with anything else.
Oops.
I'm going to continue to go in order, except for one thing. And that is because my lunch live, I was sharing that I had questions still when it came to the 43-second video that we saw of Abby and Libby with the alleged bridge guy in the background, this infamous video that we've.
Breen, only the jury saw the videos. Yeah, only the jury saw. Yeah. Okay. So we're skipping backwards now. So only the jury saw the in-cell videos. Yes. Now we're going back to day 4 when the bridge guy video was shown. Yeah.
Only ever seen a snapshot of with the audio down the hill in Richard Allen. I said that I had more questions and answers after watching it because I did not hear down the hill, nor did I see the bridge guy in it. But my neighbor did see the bridge guy in the background, and they showed a screenshot or a still shot to the jury of bridge guy. So I knew that that was the video. All I heard was Libby and Abby. Well, we got back from lunch. I just want to say this. And the next witness they had, which we will get to soon, was the one that enhanced the audio on the video. And we were able to watch the video for a second time. And you can hear ever so slightly at the end of that video, guys, down the hill. And so that answers my question. That's what it was. This was the video. It was the video. I had always wondered if there were 2 videos, if there was an audio and a video.
Okay. I don't really know why she's deleted the day 4 lunch live, right? I'm pretty sure it's something to do with her saying that she never saw Bridge Guy in the video the first time she saw it. But she's corrected it here. So I don't know what the big drama is. Everyone in the whole courtroom only ever saw it twice. And people came away with different memories of that 43-second video. So, I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, when the 43-second video came out months later, everybody watched it over and over again and was like, "Oh, well, it looks a bit different to what we remember." So that in itself is not that big of a deal. Lauren's sitting on Grayson's face. Everyone said they didn't see BG. Yeah, because he was there for like a second. He was legitimate. He really was there for like a second.
How this happened. And now we know it was a 43-second video. And you can see Abby. She goes off screen and then ever so faint, you see a guy in the background just for a split second. You can see him behind Abby, and that's the visual that we've seen of Bridge Guy and that we've always seen. And then at the very, very end, you hear guys down the hill. And that is when Abby says, "There's no path," in her little voice. I wrote in my notes, by the way, such a young sounding, innocent voice. And I looked over at my neighbor's notes and she wrote, "They sound so young."
Yeah, look, they were young, right? Like 12, 13, 12. She's very emotive. I've got to give her that. Like, Lauren reports in such a way that people are going to feel this sort of very gut emotion response. They're going to start to feel like it's their daughter, it's their son, it's their mum and dad, so young. Like, she makes these notes and comes back to them so that she can recount them and get people really feeling like they're part of the story. So that's, I believe, how she's built her channel up, rather than being very fact-based, let's say. But the facts do tend to escape her from time to time, And I think she found this Delphi coverage really challenging. You can see throughout the days that she was covering it, she was struggling a lot to stay on top of the facts. And then I know that she had a few different people there taking notes for her. Some were there the whole time, some weren't. In fact, they changed. The people came and they left, and Grayson was there, I think, most of the time, but then not right up until the end. But she didn't have multiple people there the entire time. Grayson, I think, was the most standard person the entire time. But yeah, it was she made out like she had this big team, but that wasn't really the case. There was multiple people there for a little while, but not the entire time.
Let me share with you this video, since again, I talked about it on my lunch live and I want to answer the questions that I had. And then we will jump into the full day, the full trial, and I'll give you everything that I know. Woman! So the guys down the hill bridge guy video. It focuses, it's at the very end of the video again, where it focuses on the gravel when he says, guys down the hill. It's looking at the gravel. So they did put the enhanced audio with the visual of bridge guy, but they're both from the same video. So what the public sees is the audio connected to the video.
Okay, so she makes no big deal of this at all. The fact that the audio that we've seen for years and years was overlaid with some video of the man walking, yet the audio happened at a completely different point in the video than when we see the man walking. She makes no mention of that whatsoever. Maybe it escaped her because she only saw it twice, but they happen at a completely different point in time. So we have no idea whether the person who was walking behind Abby was the person who actually said down the hill. We've got no clue. We didn't see him say it. We didn't know whether there was another man there or not. She just assumes. She's completely buying everything that's being sold to her by the prosecution. Completely. So, oh, right. Well, now I know. All my questions are answered. I've seen it again after lunch. So now all my questions are answered.
But it's actually focusing on the gravel when he says guys down the hill, ever so faintly. You see him walking behind Abby. And then it begins to show Abby walking and then running. And they get to the end of the Monon High Bridge, the end, the private property end, not the public access end. They get to the end of the bridge, and
I'll tell you
that's
why
when
in a minute.
Abby starts running, and then she gets close to Libby, and then they talk amongst themselves. I couldn't make out everything that they were saying. And then Abby says, there's no path, in response to guys down the hill.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know if it's in response to guys down the hill. You're just assuming that.
And to see it and to hear it, to see their response and to hear it, it was a complete dead end. They're completely alone on this other side of the bridge that very few people go. In fact, many witnesses today, we'll get to those too, talked about how they love to walk on the trails, but they're too scared to go on the bridge, or they don't go on the bridge. It's the brave souls, the adventurous souls that go walk out on this old railroad bridge, the Monon High Bridge. And they were on the complete other end of it when he cornered them.
Yeah, fanfic alert. Yep. So again, she's being very emotive, right? And her audience loves this. Yeah, so it's the brave souls, the adventurous souls that go out there. Not many people go out there. And like, she's painting this picture and she's good at it. Like, she's very good at it. Yeah, that was backwards, Lauren. Past comment, then down the hill. Look, I'm not going to have too much of a go at her about getting the wording wrong if you only saw it twice that day. A lot of people misremembered what they saw of the 43-second video that day. But it's just the way she's so sure. It's like, well, I had all my questions answered after lunch. All my questions were answered. It all made sense to me. It's all fine. And yeah, the lunch live just disappeared. So what are you trying to hide there, Lauren? Okay, and then later in that same live that day, on day 4, which is October 23, she talks about GPS location not always being accurate, and she got bored at this part of the testimony, and she stopped taking notes. And I thought this was really curious. I thought this was a little bit telling, actually. So I'll just show you this little bit. Oh.
And explains that but then he explains that the GPS location is not always accurate because they were pressing for latitude and longitude of the video. So this part was really odd to me. To me, it's clear from the video that they're on the Monon High Bridge, in the video, in the last video, right? And then they spent a really long time trying to argue that the latitude and longitude of this timestamp at 2:13 doesn't match the Monon High Bridge. I just thought, and they spent so long on it, I stopped taking notes. I just felt it was a little, I mean, it didn't do anything for me. Maybe the jurors care about that detail, but I thought, well, clearly it's wrong because clearly to me, it's showing that there's the Monon High Bridge, but I guess they're just trying to create doubt, right? That something is awry.
Well, they're just trying to create doubt, right? Those stupid defense lawyers, they do that. They just try to create doubt. There were too many words. Oh, she got bored. Stop taking notes. Their job. Oh, because of course it was on the bridge. There was a photo on the bridge. Of course they were on the bridge. So what? So what if the GPS was wrong? Who cares? Obviously it's on the bridge. You're wasting too much time talking about it. Stupid. How dare the state have the burden of proof? The data is messed up from Ellie not properly securing the phone. Yeah, see, there's a reason for the questions. Lauren, Loza, if there's something wrong with the GPS coordinates, the data, then there's something wrong with everything. There's something wrong with the data incomplete. It means that the jury should be questioning the data. The data. All of the data. Yes? We should make an AI of Lauren on the bridge with BG behind her. Oh, dear. No, then she would be feeling threatened. Threatened, totally threatened. And then we would be done for harassment and bullying. Just one moment. I have so many tabs open. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Hold on one moment, everybody. Oh. I need to get back to the thing that I was showing you all. Okay, yes, here it is. Okay, so yeah, she was. Stop taking notes there. All right, so Lauren always thought that Alan sounded like Bridge Guy, by the way. Always thought Alan sounded like Bridge Guy. And this was streamed live on November 7. And by the way, that was before the verdict. Verdict was on November 11. 11 or 12. I have to check my notes on that one. But it definitely wasn't November 7. So here is Lauren. Here is Lauren saying what she thinks about the Bridge Guy audio and the sound of Mr. Allen's voice.
That was a day that I wrote so fast, and I was able to, I think, really relay what I heard. And I hope everyone can hear those one day, or see those. My opinion on the interrogations, I just thought it was really interesting to watch Richard Allen in them. I don't, I'm not one to try to decide if someone's guilty or innocent in interrogation, because I'm like looking at that going like, if you're innocent, you're going to say you're innocent. If you're guilty, he's going to say he's innocent, right? I mean, but to hear his voice, that was the time where I like really, really heard his voice. And I'll be honest, I'll share it now. I didn't then. I wanted to keep it to myself, but I feel like it sounds like Bridge Guy. I mean, I have to remember that Bridge Guy.
My God. Well, you kept that to yourself then. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for letting everyone decide for themselves. Right. So she's saying that back when she saw the interrogations, which was way early in the trial, right? Back when she saw the interrogations, she thought that Richard Allen's voice sounded like Bridge Guy. Right? So that means that very early on, she had this moment of like, "Ooh, it's Bridge Guy. It sounds like Bridge Guy. Ooh, down the hill, Bridge Guy." Right? But she didn't tell anybody. She didn't say it on a live or anything because, journalistic integrity. And she hopes one day that other people will see all of that. And they have now. Now, remember, we've also seen the 43-second clip and heard it. And the actual audio sounds a lot different to the audio that we heard for years and years. That sounds like "Guys down the hill," whereas the real audio sounds different to that. So you can't judge this by audio at all. And no one's ever done a vocal analysis. There was no expert at trial who did a vocal analysis. So
he was far away, he was whispering, it was a different kind of a tone. And then, you have the sound, you have the sound that's, what they had to manipulate the sound to make it louder. So all I can say is, yeah, it could be. And I still feel that way after, listening to Richard Allen was, I thought, really compelling. Just listening, like, does it sound like Bridge Guy? And really, I thought it could and did.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, who said that Andrew James there is laying it on thick? You've been heroic covering this trial. What is your opinion on his interrogations? To me, I value that more than later confessions. Sorry, Andrew James. Okay. Yeah, so back to that moment Lauren went full pro team prosecution. Hang on. Yeah, well, back to that, right? So, like, that was Halloween, so it was day 12. But I think from what I've told you or what I've shown you, that she seemed to be pretty well on team prosecution well before that. And even before trial, like you saw her with John a week before trial. And a week before trial, John was talking about Richard Allen not being that great guy. Like he's that guy who has domestic abuse or domestic violence at his house, which is absolutely a lie. Right? So she went to trial with that in her head. She went to Delphi with that in her head. And her audience has already been primed with that. So why? Well, did it affect her channel? And I remember, because I did a stream about this back in April. right? And I had to go back and get the screenshots from that stream, because now it's been more than a year since then. And in order to get the stats from over a year ago, you got to pay like $200 on Social Blade. And I wasn't going to do that. So I went and got the screenshots. So back when I did this and I got the stats on this, she had 245,000 subscribers. I think it's 245,000. Yeah. So that was in April this year. Yeah, guys. So what is it? 310,000 now, or 312,000? So it's gained. It's gone from 245 to 300 and something since April this year. But before that, if we look at, we go March 2025 is there. So that arrow on the right is there. This is the Delphi coverage here, this spike. All right, so October, November. This is a subscriber spike. Now you can see it goes down, right? But it also, that's November, December. Yeah, and sorry, there's a little pop-up over the top of it, but you can see that there's a trough there. I'll tell you something. Content creators get a trough in November, December because of Christmas. It could have been partially because of a drop-off in numbers, but then look, it goes back up again. It goes back up again. Look at this. Look at this. Right? So people came away from Hidden True Crime and into other people's chats. And I know because I saw it. People came away from Hidden True Crime and into other people's chats going, I'm not going to watch them anymore. Their coverage is so bad. They're so biased. I'm going to watch this channel. And I'm going to watch that channel. And there was a lot of pushback, but they gained subscribers from other places. People like guilters. People like to see murderers go down. And there weren't that many channels that were pushing that angle with Richard Allen, because so many of the law channels were questioning the case against Richard Allen and still are. So the people who just wanted to see the victims get justice, and that just meant somebody being put away. That's it. That's all that matters. Somebody going to prison for the rest of their lives. That was justice. The people who just wanted to say, he's disgusting, he deserved it, he wasn't tortured, those people, they went and flocked to Hidden True Crime and they got new subscribers. And Lauren and John knew that was going to happen. And they knew that they couldn't compete with the lawyers. And the lawyers were going with the facts, and the facts pointed to Richard Allen either being innocent or being not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, at least. So I've always thought that there was no way that they were even considering for a second going with an impartial coverage. Even people I know who were there, who know her, some think that she was convinced by John because of his analysis. I don't know Lauren personally, but I still truly believe that she never had any intention of being impartial. that she was never convinced by the evidence, that she always was going to go and cozy up with the prosecution, with the cops, and of course the families of the victims. And how could she possibly become friends with the families of the victims if she were to be questioning the guilt of the defendant? How? They wouldn't talk to her. And that's what she does. Look at this. Look at the views on this. What really happened? Delphi Murders, Appy and Libby, 317,000 views. Look at this compared to some other streams they've got here. 48,000 views for I Survived a Serial Killer. Delphi Murders 1 week trial recap, 85K. Delphi Murders ones do well. But especially when it came to the interviews later, the ones with the Patties, so that's the parents or grandparents, of Libby, they did very well. And then with Jerry Holman, the detective, Nick McClelland, etc., they did really well. Very, very high numbers. And like the numbers tell the story. Why did they do it? That's the reason. That's the reason. So there is a misconception out there that Hidden True Crime lost numbers, lost subscribers because of their coverage of the Delphi trial. That's a lie. That's not true. No.
That's a lie.
Yep. That's a lie. And Abby and Libby didn't get justice. As far as I'm concerned, they did not get justice. So, selling the truth for clicks and views. Well, selling out the truth for clicks and views. Normal out-of-home mum. Now, I'm interested, Normal out-of-home mum, you were in my comments yesterday and you hadn't followed this at all. So you tell me, did I give you enough of an overview of this to bring you up to speed with what happened? Because you didn't follow the trial, right? Hey, buy my bits. Well, experts said it wasn't long enough, but an expert actually analyzed some other dude's voice. They also said they couldn't figure out his height while within 2 inches, 2 feet wouldn't do any good. Yeah, so the thing is that Richard Allen is a short man, quite a short man, such a short man that if you were to see him and try to remember him, you describe him as a short man. And the British guy's not a short man. And the people that were identified, like the descriptions of people that were seen out on the bridge that day, there was no short man ever described. There was never any short man. I'm interested in the appeals and feel like you did a great job setting the scene so I can learn more. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I appreciate that. Now, you should go to rickallenjustice.com. Have a look at that website. It's a fantastic website. I might just bring it up. It has so much excellent information. The other one is All Eyes on Delphi, has a great resource. All of the transcripts are up there, day-by-day transcripts. They're all listed out in terms of the names of the witnesses, everything, all of the documents, all the motions, pre-trial, everything. Everything's listed out. So CH, do you have all that? Do you reckon you could drop some links out? That'd be fantastic if you could do that. And I will put them in the description as well. So yeah, All Eyes on Delphi does fantastic work. And Luke, I think, still runs the Rick Allen Justice. I haven't been keeping up with the Delphi stuff as much as I used to, but it's in good hands. It's definitely in good hands. Bridge Guy's Jerry Holtman. No one knows who Bridge Guy is, and honestly, I don't feel like, unfortunately, I don't feel like we're ever really going to know what happened. But let's just say, I think Rick has such a strong appellate case. There's so much wrong with his trial. It's funny how everything points to Ron Logan, but then everything points to somebody else and somebody else. And Ron Logan's dead. I watched Andrea for Karen Reed. She's amazing. Andrea is just a stunning person in so many ways. I adore her and I look up to her. And yeah, I say, if ever in doubt, you think, what would Andrea do? Criminality is fantastic. T is amazing. T's coverage has been spot on. Spot on. Sleuthy Goosey on Twitter. You can find her spreadsheets. Yes, absolutely. I'll just look to see whether CH has dropped anything else before I finish up. Yep, there's All Eyes on Delphi. Thank you for that. Half Irish. And thank you, mods. You guys are just fantastic. I love you all. Half Irish. Thank you. You're a legend. You're a legend. You've seen All Eyes? Yep. I can safely say, okay, something about the Delphi community, right? They don't agree on everything, but they'll agree on that. None of them really like HTC very much. According to Lauren, BG wore army boots to look tall. Okay. Yeah, he left the house that day and went, I would like to look taller today for my video appearance. Sure. Yeah, so yeah, Richard Allen is 5'4" to 5'5", and they cleared people of similar height because of their height. But still, it was Richard Allen. Yeah, of course it was Richard Allen. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous nonsense.
Everything else is just nonsense. I haven't got that one out for a while. Yeah, thank you so much. Alrighty, guys. This has been kind of fun and infuriating. Shockingly gross. Triggered. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. Threatened.
Torturous interference. What? What have I done?
I had to end on a good note. Oh, check out Indie Cindy's video. Sure. But yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I need to check things out before I stream them. That's all. But Indie Cindy's fantastic. Love Indie Cindy. And free Zachariah Anderson. Indeed. And I can't wait to see his appellate document, which I still haven't seen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, and see you, if not tomorrow, the next day. I think I might be hanging out with Nick Starro on his channel tomorrow for Slightly Buzzed Fridays. Slightly Buzzed. Indeed. Okay, and it's time for the song. Oh, I just have to make sure I haven't missed any super chats. Oh, Tortoise Interference says, Hella, Lauren has mastered her craft. How dare you not think she's great? But I do think she's great. Actually, Didali does that for me. He's the fan. And thank you for the $4.99. Breen, thank you for the Excited Utterance membership. Thank you again to Schnivels. That was a huge gift. And Petite Betty, welcome. I think I got everybody else. Yes, I did. I did. I love you all. I love you very much.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Darlie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 8 or 3. To be center, excited utterance. Her cat is